What's up YouTube? Tactical Tom back at it, early morning video. I'm gonna do this one strictly about optics. I might get carried away and drift off topic a little bit, guys, but mainly it's gonna be about optics and what I have on my builds, or what gun or rifle, pistol, whatever I have what on, so and why I chose that. So let's start with my SBR right here on the bottom. It's gonna be a 300 blackout, 8-inch build barrel. This was a build strictly stripped lower, stripped upper. Just went, Frankenstein on this guy. I just have an eotech, tan eotech EXPS30. It's a quick release. If I can, I'll get quick release on everything because I like to torque things down pretty tight. Sometimes I strip stuff, so I like quick release. Plus, if it fails somehow, if I don't have tools, I can just take it off and use my backup sights. So I'll usually put Magpul backup sights on everything, as you can see right there. This is a single dot, guys. I have black Ranger wrap on this. If I could get this in all black, I would have. I just could not find the eotech EXPS30 in all black with the single dot. I don't like more than one dot. It just throws me off. I like that single dot, the circle. So I just threw some black Ranger wrap because this is a mainly black gun. Threw a couple tan features. I'm getting some more Ranger wrap in later, so I'm gonna throw some more camo and tan. So we'll see how this thing turns out. I'll mess around with it. Good thing about the Ranger wrap, guys, you can take it off and it does not leave any sticky residue or tape or any gunk like that. So it's pretty cool, and it stays on there. And it's a nice fabric, guys. This one's probably a little dirty, but yeah, they make good stuff. I like it. They have it for flashlights. I'm gonna get a camo one for this. I'm gonna get tan right here and some camo right here. I don't know. I'm gonna just freak it out. Let's see what happens. I might just leave it all black again. We'll see. Okay, so I got carried away. All right, on top we have my 10.3 factory Daniel Defense 300 blackout again. This thing is so quiet suppressed. That's why I have two. It's just a little different. This has a super safety locked tactical folder meant to go in my backpack. That's why it's got the eotech. If I bang it around, I'm not gonna have to worry about that thing breaking or getting beat up or hurt. It's gonna be good to go. This one I kind of baby a little bit more, but it's still, if I can bang it around, it's okay, just not as much. It's got a lot of holosun stuff on here. Well, not a lot. It's got a holosun. The night vision red dot sight, it looks like a big old block, but guys, the thing is really cool. I wanted a thermal, but it was always back ordered. Now they're in stock, but I got this one, so I'm like, well, I'm good to go with it. It does have a 5x digital zoom, which creates very real cloudiness. It's not sharp picture, so I stick to the 1x, and it works well with a 3x magnifier, so you can just zoom in with that. So it's great. Daytime, that's a red dot. It works like a regular holosun red dot perfectly. I love those. They're circle red dots, just like the eotech reticle. It's really crisp. It's not like a bunch of little dots. It's just a real crisp dot. I like that with the magnifier. When I throw the eotech with the magnifier, those little dots will get blurry, and that center dot sometimes looks like a line or like 2 or 3 dots. I can't really picture where my center dot is. With the holosun, I can usually sharpen it down and adjust it and get that center dot real fine, so I can, when I magnify my shots, and I can get to about 200 yards easily with this magnifier. If I really hold real still and rest on something, I can get out to 300 yards. With the 110 grain supers VMAX. That's what I usually sight in everything with, my go-to ammo, and I'll switch out to other stuff, but I sight in everything with 110s. If you notice, I got silent muzzle devices for my Omega 36M. Now guys, this has a 12-hour battery life, so if this goes out on me, I do have my front sight, and there's a way you could just kind of look through the, kind of match this up with the front sight, and you can get pretty good shots with that, just that. But if this goes out on me, I want to be a little more accurate, so I have a 45-degree offset Trigicon. This is on 24/7. The battery life lasts for a year, and then it's got a Trigicon mount, so I can just put this on just about anything. You can mount this on anything with a rail, just to be a red dot. So if you have a small PCC or something like that, I was gonna put it on here, but it's just too small. so it's not bright enough for me to pick up all the time when I can't adjust the brightness on this one like I can on my Glock. Of course, the Vortex 3X magnifier. Guys, for this magnifier, I've had the eotech. I've had a lot of different magnifiers, and I'll tell you, the Vortex 3X magnifier is super clear, okay? The Sig Juliets are, to me, are crap. Just skip those altogether, okay? I don't like Sig optics, period. Their dots are just not good centered for me. I don't like Sig optics, I'm sorry. I'm really not a Sig fan, period. Sorry, guys. Just had this T28 blow up on me. Sig Rattler, I had the barrel clamp break off and barrel come loose. So Sig and me are not a good match. Have bad luck with Sig, just put it that way. But again, this magnifier is super clear glass. It's small, compact, it's quick release also. You know, it works well with this combo. And like I said, I get 12-hour battery life. So if I go outside, I do carry an extra battery with me usually in a bag. But if I go somewhere and this battery goes out on me, I'm gonna use my 45-degree offset and boom, I have another red dot. So I'm good to go. Or if I'm just not hitting for some reason, then if it's off, or if, you know, if I didn't zero it in properly or something happened, I got my backup. This is good to go. Guys, with this has a built-in IR light. That's why it's so big. Nighttime only, you can hit the little button and it turns into night vision mode right there. And guys, the night vision is sick on this thing. It works really good, especially if you have an extra IR light, which I do. So I'll swap out my surefire light with the IR light. They do have a Streamlight TLR or TRL, whatever they are. It has a regular light and an IR light, which I'm probably gonna get just because it's looks just like this and I like it a lot. So that's, you know, of course, mag both side on there. Okay, moving along. Here's my little 22 bolt action, guys. This is quiet as it gets, so it's suppressed with the subsonic ammo. I love this. It's a Savage, it was real cheap, and then I put a Boyd's Wood stock because I liked so much being so quiet. On here I have a holosun red dot sight. These 510Cs are awesome, guys. They're just like the same reticle as the eotech circle with a dot. I just like that a lot. The dot's okay, but that circle helps me pick it up a lot more. And I can use the bottom half of that circle, or the bottom of that circle as like as a hold sometimes for longer distances, just depending on what I'm doing. For this, I could put a scope on here, but I'm shooting subs usually. And like I said, with a red dot, 100 yards, makes it lighter too. With a red dot, 100 yards, I'm pretty good to go, you know. And if I want, I can go ahead and piggyback that magnifier with the Vortex magnifier on there. And if I want to get more accurate, more up close, I do have this, which I go back to. We're just gonna go back up here to the Glock 19. On here, guys, I just have a Trijicon. I'm real big on Trijicon RMRs because they don't break easy, okay? Everything can break, they just don't break easy. Guys, I've seen a lot of guys with holosuns crack. There's no warranty on them. This one there is. If this breaks, they're gonna give you a new one. And I've dropped this quite a few times, and yeah, I've had no issues. So I like Trijicon RMRs, so as you can see, that's why I have that on there instead of a holosun. Plus, I like the design a lot. I want to get an HD just so I can load the batteries. This one is the adjustable. The other one is not adjustable. It just does it on its own. This one I can turn off and on. This one stays on 24/7. So that's the difference. The only thing I don't like about these is you have to pop them off, unscrew them to replace the battery. And like I said, I over tighten my screws a lot, but we'll figure that out. And I didn't strip them, so they're okay. Another thing I like about this holosun, this one in particular, it has a solar panel, guys, and it has quick release. Guys, this solar panel, it really works. No battery at all. That's where you put the battery in. When I get these, I make sure it doesn't have the battery installed, and I turn it on, and the thing works in regular light, like in my house. Even with the lights off, it'll turn on. So this thing is awesome. Plus, it's got it says 50,000 hours battery life, which is insane. but I know for a fact it doesn't work with batteries. So that's just a good red dot to have. If you don't have batteries, or you're somewhere in a situation where you don't have batteries, this little holosun is amazing. But like I said, it's not, I've dropped it, maybe not this one, but a different model. I've had so many. This is the red one. I don't like the green because the green reticle will give you a little splotchiness. It's just, it doesn't look as crisp and sharp as the red for some reason, at least to me. The red is the better reticle for my eyes to pick up on. And then we're gonna go back down here to, these are kind of new to me, guys. This is an athlon. I know if people like vortex razors, Leopolds, you know, Night Forests. There's so many different brands you can get. They even had eotech Voodoos, Trijicon Credos. Guys, this thing is, the glass is just as, the quality of the glass is just as good, if not better than some. The eye relief is amazing. The knobs. This one is the Athlon Helos BTR Gen 2 in mils. If you get the MOS, or MOA, sorry, the reticle is very different. It's a line instead of a center dot, which just, I don't like it. It's really weird. So this one has a center dot. So just if you judge in, if you read in mils or MOA, that the reticle in mils is just a lot nicer. These knobs have to be lifted to be adjusted, which I like. You can't just turn them. It does have a return to zero. On here I have a Trijicon mount. It's a QD mount. It also has a return to zero. It's a little different than those snap ones. You twist these and then you just give it a little push onto your rail and then tighten it back down. And they'll stay on. And this is an accurate optic. It's a 2x12, so it's like a mid-level. It's a little longer. It's just an awesome magnified optic, guys. Let me just say, for the vortexes and the Leopolds I had, eotech Voodoo, Trijicon Credo. I had the Voodoo 1x10 first focal plane, Trijicon Credo 1x8, and that was the red and green option. I had some nice Leopolds that were like 1,700 bucks. The eotech Voodoo, I believe, was almost 1,700, more or less. It was 1,700. Guys, this was $5.99, and it is a little bit. I like the 2x12, the short compact eotech Voodoo. When that comes out, I'm definitely gonna have to, you know, hide that from my wife and get it. But yeah, for now, this is my go-to magnified optic. And again, this has quick release too. So I think everything has quick release except for that holosun night vision. This one does, that holosun, the eotech, my vortex magnifier. But guys, yeah, that's my optics. I believe everyone should have a red dot, a good quality red dot, and a good quality magnified optic. So you don't need all these, you know, with pistols, you could just go with iron sights, you know, with ARs, but with red dots with big open windows, I don't like the circular tube like aim points or like some of the other holosuns. I like, you know, just a big open window so you can see everything. And that's how that holosun is also. It's just got a big open window so you can see everything. It's very nice. That one's sick right there. I love that. Let's pull that to the side just so you can see it. It's got a big open window as well. A lot of options and features on this one. Make sure I don't have it on. But yeah, those are my optics, guys. Yeah, I spoke to a guy today. Is like, I would never buy an expensive optic or trade an optic for a gun. For me, I know I was, you know, I didn't want to spend a lot of money on optics when I first got into guns, but you get what you pay for. And I started out with cheap optics that just looked kind of cool, and yeah, they were crap. So this was actually the first one I got that was hitting zeroed in nicely, and you know, I was getting very nice groups at 100 yards with just that. So I was like, wow, okay. So after that, I knew holosun was a pretty good, you know, I want to say like lower to mid level optic. Good entry level optic. Okay, there you can get some for like 200 bucks. This one I think is $310 before tax. So for what that does, solar, and it's just a cool optic. I think that's awesome. 300 bucks. You can't get too cheap. So that's a good option right there. You don't want to go too expensive either, guys. This athlon, it's like $5.99. This mount was a little over 200, but you need a good mount. And yes, but I mean, just $5.99 alone, 600 bucks. You get a good magnified optic. You need good glass, guys, and good eye relief. You don't want to be looking around. I like the Sig, not the Sig Tango, the expensive ones, but I think it's also called a Sig Tango, the 1x6 or 1x10. They're like $2.99 up to like $5. I think the 1x10 was like $5.99. They make a higher end one that's like almost $2,000. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the ones that are a little cheaper. They're nice. They come with I believe the mount is built in on those Sigs, but maybe they're not, okay, but they comes with a nice mount on that Sig. Really nice, looks really nice. But it's hard to find that center reticle. You're gonna be there looking around. I bought with 1x10. I sold it to this guy. He said he's gonna use it for competition. I don't want to tell him, but it's difficult to find that center dot. So you're gonna be there for a second looking around, trying to find that center dot, With this athlon, immediately you pick up on it just like a red dot. So it's illuminated as well too, so if that can help you at nighttime. But all right, guys, that's it for my optics and what I got and why I got them. But please subscribe. It does help my channel. Hopefully I'll get enough subscribers where I can make some money and buy some cooler stuff and make cooler videos. All right, guys, thanks a lot.